Shannon, who do you think wins this one and why?
I don't like anything that the Rams are doing currently on offense against this Cowboys defense. They don't protect Matthew Stafford. The Cowboys have the second most sacks in the NFL. The Rams have allowed the second most sacks. That's a bad formula. They pressure the quarterback, they hit the quarterback, and in 4 games this season, Matthew Stafford leads the NFL in interceptions. That's a recipe, really, if Dak was playing, that's a 14, 17-point victory for the Cowboys. But since Cooper Rush is playing, that's a 3-point win for the Cowboys.
You think Cooper Rush is going to beat Aaron Donald's defense? Are you kidding?
Skip,
you think Aaron Donald hung the stars, the sun, and the moon?
Look, Aaron Donald can only do so much. But it's Aaron Donald, is the defense for the Rams, what you've seen in the first 4 games this season, have they been better than the Cowboys defense than what you've seen the first 4 games of the season? No. You see the Rams offensive line? Stafford gets hits constantly. He turns the ball over constantly. So, in other words, Cooper Rush can do what Cooper Rush has been doing in all 4 of his starts. He doesn't have to do much. The Rams are averaging 17 points. Okay. So now the Rams have only gotten 21 or more one time. That was against, who did they get? The Falcons scored 31. So the Cowboys do what they do defensively. They give up about 15 points a game, score about 21. Can the Cowboys get to 20 points against the Rams? Can they get to 20 points, Skip Bayless? I'm asking you. It's not a rhetorical question. Can they get to 20 points?
Well, I don't know.
I think so.
Yep.
I say they beat the Rams 20-17.
Okay, 20-17.
20-17.
Says a man who still believes deep down that Cooper Rush is nothing more than a very exposable, undrafted fraud.
Yes, I wish this was the Rams of last year, and they had Andrew Whitworth at the left tackle, Note Bloom at his right spot, and then yes, absolutely. But what a year a difference? What a year a difference make?
Yeah.
What a difference a year makes, excuse me.
I'm going to put my partner, Shannon Sharpe, on the couch for a moment, and I'm going to tell you that I think deep down he fears Cooper Rush.
I don't fear Cooper Rush.
Because I believe that deep down he knows that Cooper Rush is now ranked 4th in QBR in the National Football League, which is just flat out extraordinary. And after I blurted out 2 days ago on this show that, to my memory, I can't remember a quarterback playing better in his first 4 starts in the league than Cooper Rush has. You scoffed, you laughed, and then I stumble across a stat that night that says Cooper Rush is the only quarterback in NFL history to have a 90-plus passer rating in his first 4 starts. Only in history. Nobody's ever done that, and Cooper Rush has done that, which is why going into this game, let's do scale of 1 to 10. How much do I trust Cooper Rush to play exactly the way he played at Minnesota and against Cincinnati and at Giants and then home against Washington? The same way. Across the board, I'll go to a 9 on a scale of 10.
That's my point.
Okay.
So in other words, all he has to do is throw 1 touchdown because he's averaging 1 touchdown per game.
I don't care who he's going against, whatever defense it is. Name somebody. San Francisco's defense. I think he can play at the level he plays at the same way every time. I do trust him. This is obviously by far his biggest test. I think you would agree with that.
I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So you believe last year, if Cooper Rush had been in that divisional round of the playoff games, they would have beat the 49ers.
Okay, well, he hadn't even played. He played 1 game in his life.
Yeah, but
right?
okay. That's splendid. Right. But you were convinced after that 1 game, you had seen enough that Cooper Rush was the guy. So again, I ask you believe that if Cooper Rush
I think they would have played better. They caught the buzzsaw that was the 49ers. Remember, the 49ers buzzsawed the Rams?
You do realize that got out a couple of sacks that Cooper Rush probably weren't going to get out of.
Okay, well, he might have, but I thought Dak was pretty miserable in that game. I got to tell you.
He didn't get off to the greatest start.
They came out flat on offense, as you always say. Well, did they have the ball? Yeah, yes. They get the ball, too.
Yes, they did.
Well, and then they sort of did what Dak does. At the end of the game, there was a flurry. And at the end of the game, he's running down, and the referee gets in the way.
No, I never seen you did it again. You did it again. Somebody, the referee got in the way.
He needs to get in better shape.
You ought to be better shape. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for that one.
I'm proud of myself for that one. Okay, here's my issues with coming out here to SoFi to play the Rams, who are the defending champs, and they're a proud bunch. They're flat out due for a game. And I know if I just go right down the pecking order, will you take Matt Stafford over Cooper Rush?
Yes.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Will you take Aaron Donald over Micah Parsons?
Yes.
I know you'll say yes. Would you take Cooper Kupp over CeeDee Lamb? It's not even close. It's like a joke.
Absolutely.
Will you take Jalen Ramsey over Trevon Diggs?
Right now, I don't know, Skip.
Okay,
I don't know right now.
Okay, but I just know in your heart of hearts, you would say, okay, if it's close, but you're going to lean to J. Ram on that one. He's decorated. He's been there and done all that,
but
right?
Skip, he's not playing like those decorations.
Okay,
He hadn't been Jalen Ramsey. What we saw, you saw him in the playoffs. You saw him against Tampa.
Okay, here's my fear. My defense does not stop the run. You can fire back at me. The Rams
does not run the ball.
They do not run the ball. They haven't run the ball this year.
No.
They're 30th in rushing. My team is at 27th in stopping the run. Sean McVay, the boy genius, is nobody's fool. I just think he'll sit there. Cam Akers can run the football when they try to run the football.
Anderson can too.
He can too. Both of them run hard to me, and they slash and they scare me when they get cooking and they get some momentum. My team gave up 142 rush yards to Washington last week. My team can't stop the rush as in Cooper Rush, and it can't rush the football. Zeke has turned back into running in Cabo San Zeke. He's worse than ever. I told you, it's a contract year for him. It's actually a play for your NFL life year for him. And I'm looking at what Zeke is doing. Shannon, it's getting worse. You realize I'm looking at his yards per game. It went 52, 53, then he had the 173 at the Giants, and then back to 49 last week. Do you realize the average of those is 56.8? That's even worse than last year, which would make him on pace for his career for a 7th straight year to go down in yards per game.
Why are you surprised?
Okay, because I needed him this year. What's the ultimate NFL cliche? The best friend of any quarterback is a running game.
Yeah.
So the young quarterback, even though he's 28, but young as a starter, Cooper Rush, especially coming out here to SoFi to play the defending champs, he needs some bodyguards. He needs some enforcers around him. He needs somebody to take some of the pressure off some 3rd and 7s where you got to make a big throw.
But Skip, you keep saying that the best friend of a young quarterback or a rookie quarterback
first-year starter.
But is a running game. But your running back isn't the same.
Okay, well, in Tony Pollard, he's had some flashes and some splashes.
Guy, yeah.
Okay, but in the opening game against Tampa, Tony Pollard, 6 carries for 8 yards. Sunday, he had 8 carries for 6 yards. So he's boom or bust.
Right.
You can't trust that he's going to take up the slack because he's just a home run hitter. And like Aaron Judge just went, 58 at-bats before he finally hit the home run.
Right.
It's almost like Tony Pollard will go 58 at-bats before he hits a home run.
Well, you'll know early on, Skip. He'll give you that. You'll know early in the game that, okay, Tony Pollard has it this game. And if you look at the games in which he's been sensational, he gets off. He normally gets off. He'll get a 8-yarder or a 10-yarder, and within the next 5 or 6 carries, he's going to pop one for about 20 to 30.
Who's the second best friend of a young starting quarterback, an inexperienced starting quarterback? It's the tight end. It's the position you played. It's John Elway saying, when in doubt, I'm going to throw it to 84 because I know 84 is a big target and he's going to get open and he's going to catch the ball.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
3rd and 6.
I was special. Dalton Schultz is special.
All right, but he's franchise tagged. So in their realm, they view him as fairly special.
Right.
Special enough to put a tag on him.
Yes.
He was Dak's security blanket. Last year, he was Dak's favorite receiver.
Right.
Guess what? He's got no connection with Cooper Rush for reasons I don't know. But against Washington, he had 3 targets and 0 catches.
Because if you think about it, with the exception of CD, the guys that he's most comfortable with played with him on the practice squad.
Okay, you're exactly right.
Look at Noah Brown. He comes in, Noah Brown go get the 1st or 2nd catch, Skip.
Fine with me. He brought him back to life. I thought he was gone. I thought he wasn't even going to make the squad in camp.
But Noah Brown has played really well.
He's played really well. My point is, on the flip side for the Rams, Tyler Higbee is a stud to me. Every time he's 6'6", and he plays even bigger than that. He plays strong to me. What is their biggest problem right now is that Matt Stafford, when in doubt, he throws it to number 10, and it doesn't even matter if there are 3 people on 10. He just throws it to him, and a lot of times he catches it. He is running away with the targets and catches lead in the NFL.
Yeah, he's going to run away with it again.
You're way too dependent upon him. I've heard it all week long. Well, who's your second best receiver? It's Tyler Higbee.
Well, it's supposed to be Allen Robinson.
Okay, well, it just didn't happen. For whatever reason, they don't have any rapport or connection or wavelength.
Right.
I just think Tyler Higbee could have a big day against my defense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to check it down, some more possession-type passes to Tyler Higbee. That scares me because they could control the football. My defense, if you don't put Matt Stafford in 3rd and 6s where they can just lick chops and everybody's coming and Mike is going to get 2 blockers over here, but nobody's going to get but single blocks over here.
Armstrong and D. Long.
And they can just say, yes, we will eat.
Right.
It could be anybody. It could be Odigizua coming up. It could be Neville Gallimore.
Right.
They can come after you.
Right.
But if you don't get in those situations, it's hard to get you in a jeopardy position if you keep running the ball and hitting Tyler Higbee.
But here's the thing, Skip. This is a game that's set up where Cooper Rush doesn't have to be special again. He can throw somewhere between 200, 230 yards, throw 4 touchdowns, and as long as they don't turn it over, his defense will be good enough. Because what's another good additive or help for a young quarterback? An outstanding defense.
Okay.
And so now you can't run the football.
And we're still talking about the outstanding defense that is 27th stopping the run.
But Skip, okay, that's one aspect of it.
Okay.
If the Rams ran the football, if they're playing the Ravens, and they're 27th against the rush. Okay, you know what? Or you played Cleveland.
That's fair point. I hope you're right.
But what the Rams try to do, Skip, Sean McVay polished his genius by what? The creativity in the passing game.
Yep.
And so what do the Cowboys do as well as any team in the NFL? Attack your quarterback.
You know what? They don't have any creativity at this moment because all it is Cooper get open.
If Cooper Kupp or bust,
Right, because there's no scheming to get Cooper Kupp.
Right.
You can't scheme because every single snap, the defense is like, where's 10?
Right.
Because 2 people are going to be on 10 every time. Because why wouldn't you put 2 on him? Because Matt Stafford is so reliant.
Right.
He's addicted to Cooper Kupp, right?
Yeah. Now, if you play the 49ers, and I know Kyle Shanahan is his creative mind in the run game, I was like, okay, I'm going to take the 49ers, even though it's Jimmy G. Even though it's Jimmy G, because you know Jimmy G going to put the ball in harm's way. At least once. At least once. Go get a crack at it.
So my defense, bend but don't break, has been spectacularly better and better because Brady gets 20, and then all of a sudden it starts to drop down 19, whatever it's been.
With 16.
It's gone down all 4 games. It's gone down. And Micah was asked after Sunday's win over Washington,
17. We went 19, 17, 16, 10.
10, and he said 7. Well, Micah, 7 is going to have to be at SoFi against the defending champs. Well, he's on record, and trust me, I know Sean McVay well enough. He loves that kind of bulletin board. So he is now telling his team, his offense, that young man says he's going to hold you to 7. You're going to swallow that? You're going to sit still for that?
You're right.
You're going to accept that? It's your house. It's your building. You won the Super Bowl.
Remember Shaq Barrett said, they look like the same Kansas City offensive line to me. And then they get 41 hung on it.
Well, there you go. So that scares me too. So I trust my quarterback. I'm just not sure I trust that the Rams are going to be as bad as you think.
No, I don't think they'll be as bad. I don't think they'll be as bad, Skip, but I don't believe they're going to go out there and get 28 or 31 points, which is the points that you need to make Cooper Rush play for the entirety of the ball game and not just have to make a few throws late in the ball game to get you in field goal range or a touchdown to beat you. You got to make him play the entirety of the game. At no point in time can he become a cheerleader. He needs to participate every single snap he's on the field.
Every single snap I've watched from him, he's been very good early in games. He's been outstanding late in games. There are times in the middle where it just sort of drifts.
Exactly.
Where they try to run the ball and kill the clock, and they can't.
Well, see, that's what I need. I need him in the middle of that. I need him to have to make throws like he did, like you said, at the start of the game or at the end of the game. I need that.
My team is 25th in rushing the football. It's not good enough to protect a still very young, inexperienced quarterback.
What's your score?
I told you, I don't pick Dallas anymore. I'm not going to pick. I just stay away from it. I would love to see Cooper Rush win this game because you want to talk about a quarterback quandary? That would be a quandary.
Now, if he's in that next week, let's go. Yeah. You know, I got to get my Eagles gear. I got an Eagles helmet.
Do you?
I do.
Well, oof.
Old school one.
Yeah,
the Mike Quick version.
What if Cooper managed to pull this one off as you predict, and then all of a sudden they say, let's go back to Dak to throw him into the fire at the Eagles?
He still can't grip the ball.
That's what Jerry would say. He still can't grip the ball because Jerry will not be able to release his grip on Cooper Rush at that point.
Gentlemen, it is America's Game of the Week, 4:25 kickoff on
Whoa.
the NFL on Fox. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.